Hey, what's up, guys? Insane Game Freak here. Be warned, this video will not be edited, so if you wanted an intro, I'm sorry. But I gotta do like three of the. I'm not gonna do Nintendo's until like another day from now because I want to talk about Color Splash and everything. But we're gonna talk about Sony today. I probably will do a Microsoft one because I really, if you want a quick opinion from me about the opinion of both of those conferences, both were good. Both were good by in the aspect of a conference. The problem with Sony's is probably going to be like the majority of this video, but I will go over the stuff and talk about my thoughts on each. So let's get into it. So Sony started off with God of War. I'm assuming it's God of War 4, but we don't know the actual official name of it. We just know it's God of War. It seems to look pretty vastly different from any other God of War game I've seen. Also, a big pro to Sony off the gate, short conference. Thank you, God. That bar none automatically made it at least a C in my mind. If you had a short conference, I'm like, all right, it's at least going to be a D or a C just for that reason. But they also were consistent with games. So we had God of War, which is an exclusive, and that looks cool. I mean, there's not too much to say about it. The demo was fine, so we got gameplay footage. Pro for God of War. Kojima's next project. See, this is gonna be another one of those fucking things like where like the problem with it is overridden by the hype. That's literally what it is, because there is no reason to be interested in this game in terms of gameplay because we saw nothing. It was just another example of a CGI fucking trailer. But you want to know why this game will probably get a lot of passes from a lot of people? Because it features, because it's Kojima on a Sony platform using the guy from Walking Dead that was supposed to be in PT. Pretty much, and the whole thing comes off as a giant fuck you to Konami. That's the reason why this game will get a pass. But if we're just talking on a conference level for me to give a shit, and on a games aspect, no, this shit doesn't get a pass just because it's a CGI trailer. I mean, it's like, oh, cool. It's like, you didn't show me no gameplay, and I don't even know what the fucking story's about. You accomplished nothing other than saying fuck Konami. Which for a lot of you guys might be enough. But realistically, I'm not going to be that fucking biased and be like, oh, it's a fuck Konami trailer. Still, I'm not counting that as a pro to the conference. I might count that as a pro to Kojima, not to the fucking conference. Next, Last Guardian. Release date. I think that's coming out in October, I believe. October? Yeah, in October. Last Guardian coming out in October. Not my kind of game, but once again, a game. It's confirmed release date. Good. Pro for Sony. Final Fantasy 15. That's going to be the console. You're going to buy that primarily on PlayStation. So pro for that, and that comes out in September. So you got a September and October game. Horizon Zero Dawn. Why the fuck did you announce the release date before E3 when you were still going to demo it at E3? I don't understand. The game looks fine. I literally can't say anything more or less about it. It just seems fine. I like the combat, but like it just seems like, if anything, it just seems like a variation on Tomb Raider. Like literally, it just comes off as a variation on Tomb Raider with just like animal taming in it. But nothing insanely amazing to me personally. It's literally just, oh look, I can take down some animals and hack them. I can either take them down and I can hack them, and it doesn't even look like it has like exploration and shit, or at least not high exploration to me. So it's just fine. But once again, there's a release date. It's next year, but it's a release date. Detroit Become Human, another Quantic Dream game. I like watching Heavy Rain. Actually, Heavy Rain was relatively tempting to buy. This is a little bit more tempting to buy, and it's better than Beyond Two Souls. So, good. Resident Evil 7, once again, it doesn't really feel like a goddamn... I couldn't tell it was a damn demo. Part of me didn't, but it was a demo. VR compatible. New game. I don't think it's exclusive, though. It probably isn't exclusive, but We got one new IP in the form of Days Gone. That game looks so fucking generic. The only thing that looks interesting about that game is the amount of zombies on screen. But that's a fucking negative against it. So it's like I could give it a pro for being a new IP, but it's also a negative for looking samey as fuck. It literally just looks like even people who talk about the game were calling it like Last of Us-ish. So it doesn't even have an identity of itself, and the identity it has is that, oh my god, there's a whole bunch of enemies on screen. I thought we had gotten past that with games like Knack, you know, the amount of shit you can have on the screen at once. I guess not. Not that interesting. Call of Duty. This is bar none like one of the best ways anyone showed off a Call of Duty game. Because most people didn't realize it was Call of Duty until the very end. I give a points for that, even though I know that's not exclusive points for making Call of Duty look interesting. Because the beginning of that whole gameplay section looked very interesting. So, best way of showing Call of Duty. Still don't care about Call of Duty, but a really good way of showing off Call of Duty. Spider-Man Automatic, woo! And I think it's PS4 exclusive, so yes! I've already posted a reaction. I'm not going to go too much into it. PlayStation VR, do not give a flying fuck. Does it have the games that are being featured are good games? Final Fantasy 15, the Batman Arkham one, Resident Evil. I think there was a few other ones, but those were some big ones. I have no fucking interest in VR. If you have interest in VR, at least you have some decent games to use VR with. So points. Crash Bandicoot. Automatic, yes, because it is remakes. Even if it is remakes, it's still a revival of a franchise that people associate with Sony and are happy to see come back. Although it's kind of weird, there's no footage of it, and also the fact that the footage you did show of anything Crash related was Skylanders. But there's also Lego Star Wars for some reason. I don't count that as a heavy hitting. I mean, people got on Nintendo for the fucking Disney. What was it? Yeah, no, not Disney Infinity. The Skylanders thing they did last year. So why people were fucking fine with Skylanders for Crash Bandicoot, I don't get. And Lego Star Wars is Lego. As I said, overall they had a good lineup of games. One new IP. Some games that people were excited for and things that people wanted. It was a good conference in that respect. But I'm going to do something that a lot of Nintendo fans threw at Nintendo. I forget. It wasn't. I think it was like 2 years ago. It was one of their E3s where they went, man, there's a lot of games coming out in 2015. Yeah, it was 2014's E3. Where people were like, man, all you got coming out is 2015 games. This is kind of weak. That's like the biggest problem Sony had. None of those fucking games are all like if you watch the very end of the conference, they give you a list of all their like major games talked about. That I think like first party games at least. And like all of them except for Horizon and like The Last Guardian don't have release dates. They're all like TBT. So that means like all the games that I just talked about. God of War, we don't know when the fuck that's coming out. Kojima's next project, don't know when the fuck that's coming out. Detroit Become Human, don't know when the fuck that's coming out. Resident Evil 7, we don't know when the fuck... Well, actually, no. Yes, we do. Okay, that's a lot. That's coming out in January. That's coming out next year. That's the other problem. There's nothing coming out this year. Like, the only games that are coming out this year that they showed was Final Fantasy and fucking The Last Guardian. Because Resident Evil comes out next year. Horizon Zero Dawn next year. Detroit, we don't know when the fuck that's coming out. Days Gone, don't know when the fuck that's coming out. Call of Duty, whatever. Spider-Man, we don't even know what the fuck that Spider-Man game is called. It's literally just called Spider-Man PS4 right now. Crash Bandicoot remakes, don't know when the fuck that's coming out. Skylanders is probably coming out this year, and then Lego Star Wars I think is coming out in like 2 weeks. So, of the entire list of games that they showed us, only like 2 of them are coming out this year, and only like 3 of them have fucking release dates. Which is Horizon Zero Dawn has a release date, Last Guardian has a release date, and Final Fantasy 15. And if I take out Final Fantasy 15 because it's a multiplayer, that means 2 games got fucking release dates. This entire fucking conference, only 2 Sony exclusive games got fucking release dates. And one of them is in, I almost wanted to do the Flip the Bird thing. And only one of them is coming out this year. So you had a good E3, but literally you're only playing like you're only playing like one exclusive game this year, because everything else is coming out on fucking next year, maybe. Which means we're gonna see God of War twice. We're gonna see Detroit Become Human twice. We're gonna see like so pretty much all the games that people are hyped about. Don't worry, you're gonna see most of them again, except for probably Horizon, Final Fantasy, Last Guardian. Everything else you're probably gonna see again next year. And Horizon, this is the second time we've seen that. The Last Guardian I'm not going to talk about. And so if we went for like specifically new shit for this year, it's literally Crash, Spider-Man, Days Gone. Well, actually, see that, and that's the thing. As I said, like, the conference is a good conference, but that's like the underlining problem with the conference. You ain't playing no fucking exclusives, which is the reason why you buy consoles, right? So to me, that's the biggest problem with this fucking conference. There's like barely any games coming out this year. Which, once again, people shit on Nintendo for, but, you know, people will still say Sony won this year. If I had to be objective, though, I probably would still say they won this year. Not necessarily because they had a god-tier conference, but because literally theirs is the best one. Because with Nintendo so far, there's not many games to justify saying they winning. And Microsoft has a whole nother fucking problem that I will get to in their review. So that is it for Sony's review. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys later. Life's a game. Play to win. Peace out.